Hi, I'm odeean, and today I'm taking a look at AM-24 Cyrus Breakdown, the ARMS Micron. So just the existence of this figure is a little bit of a spoiler, so if you don't want any spoilers for Transformers Prime Season 2, you should turn it off right now. Okay, so why is this a spoiler? In the show, Cyrus has a bit of a confrontation with Optimus Prime, and he's basically squashed and left for dead. Now, Mech, already having possession of the dead body of Breakdown, who they previously killed, used that body to combine with what's left of Cyrus to make Cyrus into a Transformer. So this is not really Breakdown. This is Breakdown's body in a new deco with Cyrus inside. So let's get a look at Cyrus. Now if we pop this bit open here, the Breakdown mold has been modified to include, if I can just focus on it, it's a tiny little detail, this grey section in here. So right in the centre, that tiny little face you can see is Cyrus. It's a pity they couldn't paint it because it's really hard to tell what's going on in there, and to be honest, I think I would not have noticed it if I didn't see pictures of it on the internet first. But it's cool they went to the trouble of putting his sort of mangled up body in there, and it's something that I don't feel ever would have happened in a Western release, because giving kids a little corpse or almost dead guy in a robot seems like something that they would never, Hasbro would never go with. Alright, let's close that up. Nice clicky click sound. Let's have a look at what's so good about this Cyrus Breakdown. So first, he's a bulky guy. Look at that. His big shoulders. Nice A stance going on there. He's got lots of good posability. Let's have a look right around the figure. You can see that from any angle he looks fleshed out. He's not one of these really hollow toys that I've seen too much of over the last year. Even looking at him from the back, he has enough bulk in these big wheels and enough sections covering up his hollows. I mean, he does have a little bit of hollow in his thighs at the back there, but he's got enough coverage to make him look like a real bulked out toy, not just like a half toy where you see it from the front angle is good and the back angle is rubbish, like some of the figures I've had lately. Apart from that, paint apps are a little bit weak, but with this guy, his black deco covers it up. And in fact, speaking of black deco, it's not black in the show. In the show, he's just a darker, scratched up kind of blue, but maybe Takara Tomy decided that with collectors and fans, black was going to sell more, so that's probably why they went this way. He's got this silver thing as well, which is also not in the show. The black itself is most of the plastic, but there are these grey sections of plastic. As far as paint is concerned, we have a little bit of silver here, red on the face in here, and a little bit of silver on the arms, which forms part of the mirror when he's a truck. We do have clear light piping, clear blue light piping in the top of the head, and to get that plastic in, they've had to do the windshield and this, if I can show it, this inner part of his torso in that plastic as well, just so that they can get enough to make a sprue, I guess. Some people say this bothers them. I'm not caring about having that see-through plastic in there too much. The really strong point of this figure, as far as I'm concerned, is the face. So if I can just get a closer look at the face here, you can see that the face is not the original Breakdown face. So this side of it's close to what Breakdown was. You can see his kind of normal looking eye there and that detail, but on the other side, where his eye was ripped out in the show, they've replaced it with a new mech made eye. And there's, let me get a screwdriver so I can point it out. Under that eye, in this area, there are little scratches where his battle damage has occurred, and it looks it looks a bit rough until you see it really close up, and it's hard to focus on because it's so tiny, but it's actually sculpted in battle damage on that eye. And on the other side of the head, up here, we have little chips where he's been bashed in the head, scrapes on the side of his head. The head has a lot of thought that's gone into it, and that's one of my favourite areas of the whole toy. That character really showing through. Paint, there's not much paint, what I'm talking about, apart from the paint, we have stickers. So we've got some black stickers on the feet, silver detailing here, more stickers here for the silver, some little shiny lights for mainly for his truck mode here and here. Decepticon logo is a sticker, and on the other side another Decepticon logo is a sticker. That's about it as far as the stickers go on this guy. It's pretty minimalist, but it pulls it off nicely. I'm not feeling anything lacking from the combination of paint and stickers on him. I just hope the stickers stay on in a durable fashion, because if they came off in these silver areas at the sides, I'd be pretty disappointed. So, as I was saying before, I think the main reason I got this guy was as a companion piece to first edition Bulkhead, which was one of my favourite Transformers of the whole of 2012. So how does he stack up with Bulkhead? So here's Bulkhead. He won't stand up. Stand up, Bulkhead. I'm on a bit of an angle here. So here's Bulkhead, and he's actually a little bit bigger. He stands a little bit bigger than Breakdown, which is not really show accurate. You can see his head is actually taking up more space. Back to back, even Bulkhead's thickness here is a little bit thicker, and I think the reason that is that because when Takara Tomy designed this guy, I get the feeling that they were designing him against the more widely available version of Bulkhead and not this first edition version. But you know, they're close enough that for me it's good enough. I'm happy to have these facing off against each other on my shelf. Now, I bought another one of this guy just recently because the first edition was re-released, so I can have him in vehicle mode. I wish I could pick up another one of these, but at $50 a pop, I don't think that will be happening. Now, as far as weapons go, he comes with this Micron. Now, this guy is not built when you get him, and I've heard a lot of people really gushing over these Microns on the internet lately, and you know what? I think the people who are loving these so much may not feel that way in 4 or 5 years. So if you're heavily invested in the whole line and you've got almost all the figures, then I feel like you might have more of a reason to want to love these. I'm not that heavily invested because even though I've bought a lot of Transformers Prime figures, I've been picking and choosing. Some of them have been such big disappointments that I decided not to go with the whole line. And being in that situation, I feel like I can look at these pretty objectively, and this is not that great. I'm a bit disappointed with it. It kind of annoys me that I had to build this and put stickers on it. Considering I paid $50 for the toy, I feel like I should have just got some kind of gun or hammer or weapon that I can stick in his hand without having to snap all these little bits together. But you know, maybe that's just me. That's not my thing. Some people I can understand might really love that, but I have a hard time understanding it. Let's just put it that way. So this guy does fit in the hand of Breakdown. It's a little bit tight. That's just because I haven't used it much. And I guess that's some kind of weapon for him. These can come out like this. I actually feel it looks more like a communications device than a weapon, especially in truck mode. I'll show that later. The Micron itself turns into something. These pop out. This goes out. You know, I haven't looked it up. I don't know what it's meant to be, but just looking at that, I feel like it's some kind of mantis. So my theory on this guy is he's a bug. Now, they used a clear piece of plastic in here which was molded in the same sprue, so the sprue had like a second injection in it to get this clear piece in, and I find that a bit unfathomable, because why spend money doing that when they could have given this guy a paint app? I don't know, or maybe it's for his individual sale value later on down the line. Okay, let's see how to transform this guy. Now to transform, it's not too hard, not too easy. Just bend these around, the hands down like this. And the next thing we want to do is just want to pop this back open a little bit to give us some room. And the front is going to pop up like this. Now something I always forget to do and snap the pieces off is push these in. So before I forget it, I'm going to push those in. Next, we want to get these portions and rotate them down like this. If you can see that. We're going to start to move this in, but before we get too far, I want to rotate the side of the truck up like that. And I'll do it on the other side. Maybe I can show it a little bit better. Rotate it up like that. The next thing I want to do is bend this out. Let's see how hard this is. It doesn't want to go. Bend it out like that. The first time I did that, it was pretty hard and I thought I was going to break it. Don't worry, it doesn't break. It's meant to go that way. Now, you'll see it's all kind of like the front of a truck that hasn't gone together, and that's because it's going to peg into this bumper. The bumper is a little bit fragile because it's this chromed plastic, but once you get it in, it forms a nice secure bond like that. The next thing we want to do is twist these arms up like this, and they just slot in and form the cab. They also push together in the center to join. Okay, now grab the back section, just rotate it around like this and stand him up. We want to fold these feet right in out of the way. Then the next part, a little bit tricky, is just we want to untab this from the inner thigh. There's little tabs that hold these panels in place. Just pull them loose, and that allows us to move this down a bit. And then fold the whole thing back and it snaps into its position. Again on the other side, fold it down a little bit, bend it back, and it snaps into its position. These are not connected in a really strong way and they can pop right off. Although it wasn't catastrophic the first time it happened to me, I suspect that if you pop them off too many times it's going to be broken, so just be a little bit cautious with that. Alright, now what's next? We're going to push these legs together, bend the whole thing down into this position, and then we're going to rotate these right back like this, and then we're going to bend the whole leg unit up like this. I'm going to do that on the other side as well. Grabbing the knee makes it easy. Bend it up like that. Now, if you just give it all a bit of a squeeze, you'll get approximately everything right. It feels nice and solid. This back section is going to come down and tab in. And here's the only bit that I have a little bit of trouble with. If I show you close up, you'll see this little nub thing. It's actually a peg that pegs into a hole. Now, if I can just hold it, I find it a little bit hard to get in. That one went in, you heard the snap. Now on the other side, that's in too. Once you get that in, the rest is really secure. I didn't realize that little bit had to lock in at first, and I could never figure out why all these panels were never sort of gelling. So that's it. I'll give you a bit of a look around. So there's the big chrome bumper, the shiny stickers for the lights. There are actually more stickers that go behind this bumper for more lights that go over the kind of light molded detail, but it seems really hard to get it in, and I don't think I would even be able to see it. So turning around, you can see here this little turquoise sticker continues on the lines of the window. The wheels, they're not painted or anything in the middle, but they do roll. So he rolls on this surface, on cardboard, he rolls pretty decently. On any hard surface like a table, a glass table, plastic table, wooden table, I found that these wheels just slide, they don't roll, and that's because they're really hard plastic, and that's what plastic tends to do. The back wheel is a solid molded wheel, it's not rotatable at all, and there's one more turquoise sticker on this back window. So I like the way that truck looks. It's a real kind of beefy looking truck. The weapon, as I said before, to me looks like a communications module, so I'm going to see if I can pop this on. Maybe put it like that. Not happy, not happy. Let's move this out a little bit more. I think like this. Yeah, that does it. So he's like driving down the street. Maybe that's his like Autobot detector. Autobots detected. I like that in that position. So this breakdown doesn't have a gun. He's got a communications rig. That's pretty much it. My final thoughts on this guy are that I think I can recommend him. So $50 is the limit. I'm not going to say go out and buy it for any more than that. That's what I paid, plus shipping. I got it from BBTS, had it on order for ages. I've seen this at a few places for that price or even less. So right at this exact moment, this is not impossible to get. I'm guessing that a little bit later on, it is going to become pretty hard to get. But right now, if you want it, you could go out and grab it. This has been my video review for ARM's Micron Breakdown. I'm Odeean, and thanks for watching.